Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Elisa, and this time we're going to talk about the actual bone tissue of bone, the histology. All right, here we go. Let's talk about this. This is like a single individual osteon. So we saw it earlier in bone. So if this is like a cross section of, say, a like a long bone, here's like trabecular bone in here, right? And all this. Okay, right, trabecular bone here. And this was the cortical bone. It was those circles that we kept looking at that had those little dots in the middle, right? And so those osteon are core, strong structure, and they are full of cells and blood vessels and nerves and secreted minerals. So here is what it looks from the side. So if you could imagine one of these little circles on its side, you pull it out and an osteon develops like concentrically, which means like wrapped around, not really a coil, spring coil there. I should do that again here. Let's do this. Beep. Okay, there it is. Okay, it makes like concentric circles. That's really more kind of the wrong size. I don't have a degree in art, guys. I'm so sorry. Right. And so they're kind of like layering on each other in that way. Um, Collagen fibers are helpful in that they help create and maintain the infrastructure of these osteons as they develop. There's a twisting type force around it that helps them just kind of secure and become more strong, right? We know in bridge building, for example, like the arch, that keystone is going to be a wonderful source of managing all of this pressure, external pressure. Well, the same idea kind of applies here in that we have this like concentric circle, right? So like a double arch kind of working to resist all of those forces. Each one of these layers is a lamellae, right? And the lamella are all of them together in pluralization. Um, Inside the central canal, which is that, the center little donut hole of the donut, you're going to find three different things. Number one, that you're going to find an artery. You're going to find a vein to take away blood flow, and then you're also going to find a nerve fiber. Um, Again, we talked about bone being very highly vascularized, and one of the reasons is because all that stored mineral, especially calcium, can be deposited as well as taken away if the body finds itself in deficit and needs it to run the heart and the muscles and the brain, because you can't run any of those things without calcium. Okay, so here's another bisection, or actually it's a quarter, and then there's a bisection of bone, and it shows the osteon as well. So here you have an osteon kind of being pulled out or slid out, right? All of the lamellae here just shown going like around, right? Right, and then also through the middle part, you can see all of the central canals have the blood vessels and they have the nerve as well. Whenever you see these ones that kind of go from side to side, right, they're going a different direction and they're linking osteon to osteon, we call these a Volkmann's canal, right? Or a perforating canal is kind of the term we're actually moving towards. Each one of these central canals is going to be lined with an endosteum as well. It covers all of the trabeculae on the outside also. So each one of these little trabeculae that are shown here are probably made out of like maybe like a set of just twisting and turning osteon themselves, right? So there's kind of the two like forms. Um, the central canal is formerly known as the Haversian canal as well. The osteon proper, which is like all of the lamellae and the central canal of each one of these individual ones, right? So this is the Haversian system, or was. Right. Also, let's see, we looked at this also. So periosteum, right? Sharpie's fibers pulling back, all attached to the bone. This is a membrane which is supportive. Some of the supportive items that you can find are going to include blood flow, as well as the nervous system. And let's look in here real quick. Let's take a moment away from the compact bone and start looking at the trabeculae or the trabecular bone. So here are the osteons growing and twisting, which is a different thing than the compact cortical bone, right? So they give it that kind of lattice, like an irregular lattice. And here's all of the blood vessels and nerves kind of swimming through it. And what's going to be in there? Mainly, we're looking for things like bone marrow, right? Like red marrow in particular. Oops. Okay. Here's some close-ups, which may or may not be helpful. I find them helpful. So you can see here when we look up really close, we can see where the bone cells are actually living. Okay, they live in what we call lacuna, which think of it as being like a cave, a little cave. And then they have these teeny little projections that come out and it connects them so they can communicate with their neighbors, as well as deeply embed themselves into all of the mineral. Those are called canaliculi, right? So canaliculi. Some people call them canaliculi, which is fine. Tomato, tomato, find your favorite, but there they are. These are bone cells, so they are osteo for bone, os, and then cyte for cell. Right, central canal, we went through there. Central canal looks a little disrupted there. Okay, here's another one. Um, Here are some interstitial lamella and lacunae coming here, right, like right on the edge. You can see their little tiny lacuna, right? Here's another one. Each one of these like darker lines, they're going to have a nucleus, and that's where a cell's going to embed, and like it looks like a tree ring, right? Going back and forth, back and forth. That's the canaliculi or the canaliculi, whichever you want to say. It's fine with me. All right. Oh, that's it. That's the end of it. Oh, that was easy. Okay, great. So that's all we were going to go over in this video. So keeping it easy, right? So some osteon info primarily. So the Haversian system and all of the key components. All right, so I hope that was helpful and I hope you're out there somewhere having a great day. Bye.